So I was asked to do an update on Taiwan Semiconductors, TSM being the ticker. If you haven't had a chance to check out the old video, make sure you go back. I did it probably about spring sometime. I don't remember the exact month, but so I did a breakdown on that one a little while ago. So now I'm gonna just do a little update, so this video won't be nearly as long, but let's go ahead and jump into it. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're a returner to this channel, welcome back. This is Lance, co-founder of BH Capital Enterprises, where basically I teach people how to navigate the markets using price action. So what I do most of the time is I teach people how to read charts. So that's, what I practice with a lot of these market markup videos. So again, going to take a look at TSM once again. I don't follow the semiconductor industry very closely, but I've heard whispers of it being bought up as of late. But looking at the monthly chart here on TSM, in my opinion, sentiment remains the same as it was back when I originally did this video. I'm just gonna make some adjustments to some of my trend lines here and just kind of extend them out a little bit. But as far as I'm concerned, this one's still looking, it's still looking pretty much the same in my opinion, um, with this one on the monthly chart. So far this month has been mostly bearish, but obviously there's been some demand down here below 110. And of course this isn't investment advice of any kind, but something that I've noticed when TSM gets down to 110 and a little below 110, it tends to get bought up pretty decently. So and so far for the month of August, that trend has remained true. And in my opinion, sentiment on this one doesn't really start to change until the price is able to get above this white trend line here. So once it does, though, it's got some real potential to push up pretty high over the course of several months. But it continues to maintain its price action above that bear market territory, so above 113, 114. But that's definitely a number that I'll be watching as we start to close out the month of August. Um, let's take a look at the weekly chart and see how that looks. So the weekly chart, we've got a reversal candle here. So maybe there's a possibility that it may be starting to make a move here, but next week, in my opinion, is going to be really critical in terms of what the bulls do. Um, when are they paying out a dividend? Okay, so they'll be paying out a dividend early to mid September. But anyway, so what I'd be watching for over the next week is a confirmation signal. So if or confirmation candle. So if we do get confirmation of a bullish reversal, then that means that next week has to be bullish. That's not to say that next week will be bullish, but just saying that next week would have to be bullish in order to confirm that reversal signal that I'm seeing here on this weekly chart. But same thing as the monthly chart. Sentiment overall still, unchanged. TSM has been mostly range bound between about 109, 108 up to about 119, 120, somewhere in there. And it's just really been having a hard time getting back over that 120 hump. So that really is one of the ultimate levels to watch. And as you can see, it remains in correction territory. And I really, if I were studying the entire industry, I would look to see, where its competitors are, and just get a global and just an outlook over of the industry overall in terms of the continued shortages and things of that nature. Let's see. Let's take a look at the daily chart. Daily chart is, you can see, like I said, whenever it drops below 110, 109, it really gets bought up pretty strongly. You can see over here went from uh, 107 up to almost 127. Down in here, it got bought up, went from 108 up to 120. And down here, this most recent time, it got bought up at 107 again. And so far, it has reached 119. But as you can see, today it made an attempt to beat this trend line but failed. So it sold off once it got above that area. So that's an area that, I will continue to watch over the next few days. Also, I'd be watching this area between about 120 to 117 or so. I'd definitely be watching that area as there is some supply there historically. Um, but there's a chance that, as far as near term, like maybe tomorrow or, to finish out the week over the next few days or whatever, maybe it comes back and retests this gap here. Maybe. Um, and then that gap pretty much sits right inside that bear market territory, and then maybe it takes off from there. But it could also continue to rise, or it could consolidate. Like anything could happen, but the name of the game is to be open to whatever the charts give you. So I'd be watching for signs, whether it be fundamentally in the news or whatever, um, that this thing is gonna break out. You know what I'm saying? Um, and a lot of times you'll see these signals prior to the catalyst actually coming out or being announced in the news. But I think we're getting to a point where TSM is getting its baking and getting ready to make a move. And when I say that, I mean make a move out of this. Like sentiment is changing, is what I mean. But in my opinion, as long as it remains between these two trend lines, the sentiment, is relatively unchanged. Um, let's see. Guess I'll draw a trend line up in here somewhere. So I mean, really, it's more of a zone than one specific level. But right now it's inside of a supply zone. So watch to see if this thing, if we get a bearish day tomorrow on this ticker. I'm also noticing that it had well above average buying volume today. So it could have been a like a blow off top type situation. Because usually when you see that big spike in volume like that, it's too late for you to get into the move. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Volume is a very important indicator. For without volume, nothing else exists. You know what I'm saying? So um, watch that tomorrow, and remember those critical levels like the 107 to 110 area, the 117 to 120 area, and also these areas of correction territory, the 5% pullback, and even that bear market territory, and then 2020 close. Those are the main levels that I'd be watching on this one short term. I don't have any positions in this right now. I did sell out of my shares that I was holding. I want to say I got in around 112, and you can go back and I think I discussed it briefly in that last markup that I did on TSM. But I want to say I got in around 112, 113, and I sold right around 120. So it's a pretty decent trade. Um, had I been keeping up with this, I probably would have bought some more shares or reposition in this one when I saw it drop below 110. But hey, I missed out on that one, and it's all good. I'll catch the next one. But if you guys have any questions or would like to see me do a breakdown on any other tickers, feel free to let me know. Whether you hit me in my inbox, leave a comment. I'm open to it. I'm glad to do it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.